Hello, Cancer. So, welcome to your weekly reading for the week of June 15th. Uh, I think you're going to have an excellent week this week. You have a lot of good stuff coming in. It seems like pretty much everybody I've read for so far has had a really great week. After that retrograde and things like that, I think there are a lot of positive changes finally coming into a lot of people. So the first card you have is the Five of Diamonds, which I think you've had this card several times before, and it's just a sign of what's happening for Cancer is finally a change for the better things happening to you. Like I said, I've said about Cancer in the past. It's like Cancer has pretty much every time I read for a Cancer, it seems like they go from like job to job to job recently, even maybe house to house to house. It's like there's been, over the last 8, 9, 10 years, there's been a lot of change and things like that, a lot of shakeups. And that really shake up your world. Starting jobs, thinking like, starting careers. I think I said this to you last week that it's almost like a lot of you have started careers and found out that you don't really, you didn't really think it was what it was going to be. So this could even be just a job or something like that you thought you were going to like and you didn't, then you switched. This was probably like last year or the year before that, in the last 2 years, I'd say, that would have happened for most of you. And then you know finally now things are becoming stable and things are happening. I love this card because not only is it a change for the better, it represents things changing more positively and all that. This also represents a time. It's a good time to like start new projects. If you're thinking about starting a business, start a business. If you're thinking about starting that new job, go ahead and start it. This card represents like a birth. It's not a literal birth, as in a baby, but it just represents birth of ideas and all those other things. Next, you have the Seven of Clubs, another great card to have. It represents business, business success, job success, all of those things. And it's also a change. It's also something new. This could be as simple as getting a raise at your job to getting like an entire promotion, like going up a level. And if you own a business, this is like all of a sudden you seeing an explosion in your sales in your business or something along those lines. And this is usually something that you've worked for. It's usually something that you earned, like you earned it. You worked very hard for this, and it's like you finally starting to see the fruits of your efforts, basically, is what this card really represents. And sometimes it's not usually like, you probably didn't expect it to happen, but you knew that it could happen. One of those things, where you've been like hoping that something would happen along these lines, and it finally does. So that's a very good card to have. Next, you have the Jack of Clubs. Another card. It does represent, to me, it represents two things for a lot of you. It represents you using your mind a lot this week. A lot of people have had a lot of mental brain activity type cards this week. It also represents you feeling like younger, maybe more youthful, more playful this week. And then on the flip side, if you're single, this can represent somebody who is interested in you, that you could start a relationship with. And the thing I always say is when people show up for relationships as clubs, I always say that you probably already know who this person is. You're probably wondering, like, do they like me? Or they are just throwing off very blatant signs and you're not picking up on them, but maybe psychically, kind of, you are, like, intuitively. You maybe think somebody likes you. And the good news is that they like you back. You have the Nine of Hearts. This is it's a wish card, and almost every sign has had this card this week. It's actually really crazy. I switched decks between readings, and like I said, it always, when stuff like this always happens, it is always so surprising to me because, like I said, I switch decks, I shuffle, and I spread out my cards. I lay them out, and then I pull randomly. So when this happens, it's always, pretty. It's confirmation for me, number one. But number two, it's always like, okay, so there's like a general message for everybody this week. It doesn't matter what sign they are. And this card is you getting what you want. It's like you getting something that you've wished for. So I would say for a lot of you, probably been wishing for somebody to show up in your life. And again, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It doesn't matter, what sexual orientation you have. This is whoever you are attracted to. It doesn't matter. It's just an archetype. That's all it means. So, this is you getting what you want. And it's everything. It's not just relationships. This could be money that you've wanted and things like that showing up in your life. It's a great card to get. So, Cancer, I think you're going to have a great week. You pretty much have the best week out of anybody so far, so enjoy it. And thank you for watching this video.